Hello, I'm Essie, the homeless woman. Today is Sunday. It's about 9:25 p.m. I just made it back yesterday from the women's retreat. It was nice. But I got sick Wednesday. It just came over me. It actually started Tuesday night. I felt a little in my throat, tingling or whatever. And then I took a super orange. Wednesday, I still felt it. I took another super orange, and it just didn't get better. So Thursday, on my way to the women's retreat, it took me an hour and 45 minutes to get there. I was just feeling, it was just getting worse and worse. And so when I got to the women's retreat, it was in Palm Springs. It wasn't on no Indian reservation. So I parked up on the first level because they had two levels. They had one at the bottom, one at the top. So I parked on the top because the one at the bottom, they didn't have no elevator elevator for me to get to the next level. So I would have to pull my heavy suitcase up, where the cars come down and go. I had to walk it up that way. So I was like, I didn't want to pull that up there. Plus, the parking was further back because it was so hot in Palm Springs. It was like 108. My van was saying 108, 107. So most of the people were parked under the garage. And so it wasn't no available parking close up front. So I just parked up on top. There was a lot of available parking close on top. So I parked up top, and I had to walk my luggage down the ramp where you drive down. And I walked to like the back entrance of the hotel. I felt like I almost didn't make it. It was so hot, so hot. I was sweating profusely. And I didn't think I was going to make it. There was a seat. I should have just sat down and rested. But my mother kept calling and saying, oh, I'll come get you and all this stuff. And I'm like, that's okay. I'll find you. Just give me the room number. I'll find you. Well, yeah, I'm going to come in. I'm going to get you. Now, I was like, oh, my God. How do I make it without her? How do I make it without her? Because I know my mother. She can go away, or she can go away more than me. Like, she might go this way. I might have never went that way, but let her try to tell me how to go. If she gonna get it wrong. So I'm like, I can find you. Like, I've been to hotels before. I've been to big hotels. Just give me the room number and I'll find you. But she wanted to meet me and all this stuff. I'm like, okay. So that's why I didn't sit down and rest, because I didn't want her to be waiting too long for me. So I kept walking, and man, I felt like I was gonna pass out. It was so hot. And so I kept walking, and once I got to the door entrance of the hotel, she called. And I had to answer the phone. She was like, well, I'm not going to be able to meet you. And she said, the room that we had was not clean, so they gave us another room, and she don't have the key to that room yet. And if she leave, she won't be able to get back in that room. They're going to bring her the key to it. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to sit down here anyway and rest before I come up, because I'm tired. It's hot. I was sick. She's like, oh, okay. So I sat there and I drank some cold water and waited till I, was cooling off before I get back up to go to the room. So once I get in the elevator, I go up to our floor, and right when I was coming out the elevator, there she was, leading me to the wrong door. It was so funny because we walking and she's leading the way, And I said, okay, so what room is it? And then she's like, oh, this is the room right here. I said, oh, okay. So I'm trying to use the key. I'm like, why this key is not working? And I'm like, I don't know why this key not working, And she's like, oh, wait a minute. This ain't our room. I was like, I was sitting there shaking my head. She was like, this is our room right here. I'm like, okay. So we got into the room and I passed out. I was asleep the whole day. And dinner was at, well, they said it was going to be at 5:45. So I was going to sleep right on up until that time. And so my mother left early to meet, her friends and stuff. And she said, I'll call you when it's time or something like that, she said. So I was like, okay. But I had set my alarm. And so I got down there exactly at 5:45. And then here come a woman saying the food is not going to be ready till 6:30. They got the time mixed up. And I'm thinking to myself, why didn't my mother call me and tell me this? Because she knew it. She was sitting there on the couch. She knew the food wasn't going to be ready until 6:30. She knew I was sick. I was sleeping. Seemed like she would have called me and said, stay in the bed. The food ain't going to be ready till 6:30. But she didn't. So I came down and I'm like, I sat on the couch next to her for a little while. Then I'm like, I'm going back up. So I went back up and I rested because I was coughing and stuff. And I didn't want to be around people. I had a mask on my face. But I didn't want to be around people like that. So I went back up and rested for a little bit until 6:30. And then I came down. And so we had a big, they had a room reserved for us. And it was, all the food was like buffet style. I thought it was going to be like banquet, but it wasn't. It was all buffet style. So it was good because we got to put how much food we want on our own plates. So it was nice. And then that was on Thursday. And then Friday, they had a series of things going on. We had a big breakfast. And they had other things like a women's speakers and stuff, but I didn't go to none of that. I'm like, just tell me when the food is ready. So that's what I went to the breakfast, I went to the lunch, I went to the dinner, and Friday they also had like some of the vendors, they were selling stuff, so I went in and support some of the vendors and bought some jewelry. And I bought a book. I really don't even read that much. The only book I read is the Bible. But this lady, she had told me about this book. I wish I could show it to you. I don't have it with me. But I'll probably show it to you in another video. Maybe if you guys want to support her. But she had told me about this book. It was about a mother and two daughters. And it sounded just like me and my mother and sister. I was like, I got to get this book. So I bought the book. It was $15. And she signed it for me. But one day I'm going to get around to reading that book. Because it sounds just like me, my mother, and my sister. So, yeah, and Friday. So they had a lot of things going on Friday. But that's all I really did on Friday. And then Saturday morning, there was another big breakfast. But I didn't go to that. I was like, I'm not hungry anyway. And I'm really not a big breakfast person. Like, I can eat breakfast if I have it Friday like we did. We had a big breakfast. Then I don't need a big breakfast on Saturday morning. I'm not all that big of a breakfast food eater anyway. I'm a big chicken eater. I can eat chicken, I can eat fish, steak, but I can eat a lot of chicken. But breakfast food, not like that. So Saturday, they had a raffle Saturday. Now, yeah. So Friday, I bought a raffle ticket. It was a $5 raffle ticket. And inside, it was a big duffel bag. It had 2 robes, 2 slippers, house shoes, It had like bath scrub and everything. It was a set, vanilla something. It smelled really good, and it had 2 nights stay at the Renaissance with free breakfast for 2. So I was like, man, I really want to win this. I really need this. I want to win this raffle ticket because anybody need it is me. So I bought the raffle ticket and hoping that I win it, because I definitely going back to Palm Springs and stay 2 more nights. And so Saturday morning, guess who won the raffle ticket? Me. I won that raffle ticket. I was so happy. My mother called me because I wasn't there when they called my name. But my mother called me on the phone because she was down there with the other women. I was still in the room trying to get ready. And she said, you won the raffle ticket. I was screaming and yelling. I was like, thank you, Yahweh. Thank you, Yahweh. Yahweh know I needed that raffle ticket. Because I love big duffel bags like that. It's a nice one, too. And I needed that hotel stay. So I was so happy I won. So yeah, so I'm going to be going back to Palm Springs. I don't know who I'm going with because it's for 2. So I don't know if I'm going to be going by myself or I'm going to be going with somebody. My birthday is in January. And so I want to go on a cruise for my birthday, but I don't know. Like, if you go on a cruise is really like for 2 people, because when you see the price, I think the price is for, I don't know. I think you have to double the price, something like that. But anyway, I would need to get somebody to come with me to split the cruise, because it's like 2 beds in the room. Unless I can order 1 bed in the room. I can order 1 bed in the room. But the price is more when you go by yourself on a cruise. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Because, I don't want to take somebody with me that when I get there, I'm going to be like, ugh, why did I bring this person? Or you know how some people are when you at home with the person, they cool. But then when you get on vacation with them, they act brand new. I know a lot of people do that. That is so insane to me. How when you get on a vacation, you want to act brand new. And when your brand new is not good, it's bad. So I don't want to get on a vacation with someone and they start acting brand new. So if I don't go on a cruise on my birthday, then maybe I'll just go to Palm Springs again. It's better than nothing. And hopefully in January it won't be so hot in Palm Springs, and I can actually go outside. I want to go outside. Oh, and another thing, while I was there, it was so hot Thursday when I got there, I cracked my windows in my van, and like I said, it was on the top level. Friday there was a storm. A real bad storm. I didn't even think about I had cracked my windows in my van. So when I got in here Saturday, that's when it hit me. I was like, oh my God. I hope nothing mess up, like my system, or water didn't get in my system and mess up anything. So I started my van, and then when I went to make a left turn, I started hearing water. Like, you know how you hear that water moving? That's how I heard. And then I looked on the floor in front of the passenger seat, and I saw water pouring out from out under the dash. And I'm like, oh no. So I haven't seen any more come out. Quite a bit came out, but I haven't noticed any more came out. So I went today. Let's see. And I bought this stuff right here. Damp Red. And Damp Red. And I said, well, I'm going to put this in my van. Down here. Where I saw it at. And it's supposed to suck up the moisture. So, hopefully, if there's any water left in my van, it will soak it up. Because in my van, like, I have like a little dash, it kind of like a little shelf, and that's water got on that. So, but I listened to my radio on the way home. I mean my system, and it sounded just fine. It didn't mess up. So I'm hoping everything is okay. I haven't noticed anything, any damage or anything to the system, and I hope it doesn't. I'm like, I just got this van, already about to mess it up. So I've been feeling overwhelmed this year. I think since I started the YouTube channels, I've been feeling overwhelmed a lot. So I was thinking about closing my Etsy shop, but putting it in vacation mode, because I started my Etsy shop in 2014, and I have never put it in vacation mode. And then every year I usually participate in a boutique. And so I really lose money when I crochet. And if I crochet instead of doing Uber, I lose money. So I'm like, I need to, I don't want to lose any money this year. I need to make money, not lose money. And then I've been feeling overwhelmed too. So I think I'm going to take a break from the orders, crocheting orders, and put my Etsy shop in vacation mode and not do any boutiques this year. And just focus on my YouTube channels and doing Uber and the other things that I need to do, like everyday things like laundry and stuff like that. So hopefully that'll help me to not feel so overwhelmed, because I've really been feeling overwhelmed. So tonight I wanted to talk to you guys. I know I talked a whole lot, but I think the shortest thing I could tell you about, a story time I could tell you about, is when I was parked at Walmart. When I was parked at Walmart, I was parked there for about 3 years. And when I first started parking there, I was parking kind of closer to the store, around in the midst of the customers, so I cannot be detected. But every now and then I would hear something hit my car real hard. I'm like, what is that? It would be loud. If I'm asleep, it would wake me up. It would start me out of my sleep. Like, what is that? And I would hear it all the time when I'm asleep. Like something hit my car real hard. So one night I was sitting in my car and I hadn't went to sleep yet. And I had my windshield covered, but the driver window was not covered. So I'm just sitting there, and I see this employee that he usually go around and pick up the baskets. And he was walking towards the driver's side of my car. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, why is he coming to my, like he was coming straight to my car. And like, why is he coming to my car? And he got really close by my window. And we looking at each other face to face. And when he saw me, he went around and went to his car. So I said, this is the person that's been hitting my car. So, I guess he didn't like it because I was sleeping in the parking lot. I'm like, I don't understand people, because clearly he don't own Walmart. And maybe he hasn't been homeless before, but like, I don't understand people that don't understand someone else's situation. Like, if you never been homeless before, if you never slept in your car before, and you so inconsiderate that you will hit somebody's car at night because you don't like it because they're sleeping in a parking lot that you don't own, you just work there, and you're going to hit their car. Well, what is one day that's you sleeping in your car in a parking lot and someone does that to you? It's like, what goes around comes around. And just because you in a certain place in your life at this time don't mean that you're going to always be there. One day you up, the next day you down. You could be sleeping in your car, somebody coming by hitting your car. So I just never understand people that that think that knock people when they down, because that's really knocking me when I'm down. I'm asleep and you come and you hit my car like that. And obviously he knows I'm a woman, right? Because I think if he knew I was a man, that he wouldn't do that. Because he'd be thinking a man might get out and whoop his you know what. And he was a little short man. So it's just funny to me how these men get these big balls when they know it's a woman. Like, I had a police to do me like that. Once he saw he was pulling on my door, he wanted me to open it. No, he was knocking on the window, and I was trying to play like I wasn't in my car because my windows was covered and everything. And he was knocking. I didn't say anything, and then I saw his flashlight. He shined his light down, and he saw my pink flip flops with a big diamond on them. Oh, wow. When he saw that, boy, he got all the balls in the world. Pulling on my door handle, shaking my whole car. I was like, wow. Now you know as a woman in here, you got balls now, right? So, yeah, I had to tell you guys about that another day. But it just amazes me how men come with such um, um, violence or masculinity at a woman. Right when they know it's a woman, they just get so brave. Anyway, so because of him, I started parking in the back of Walmart. Technically, it wasn't the back. It was the back of the parking lot, but it was in front of Walmart. So it was towards the back of the parking lot by the street. Because I didn't want to be bothered by those employees was getting on my nerves. I'm like, they was just all in my business. So after a while, I moved by the garden section because somebody had told me, move by the garden section, because I was having problems with the police bothering me over there by myself. So it was like, move by the garden section. I don't have any problems over there. I don't know. Oh, I talked to another lady that was living in her car. She the one told me that. So I moved by the garden section, and it was better over there. But this security guard at Walmart, he looked like he was a Middle Eastern man. I guess one day he must have saw something. I don't know. I be changing my clothes or whatever. But I covered my windows, but sometimes there was like cracks and stuff. It was hard for me to completely cover everything. And I think he might have saw something because one day, from one night on, he kept being around my car. He was like surrounding my car all the time. I would look out on my passenger side. He would be parked right there. I was like, damn, he was just too close to me. Every time I look around, he was parked in front of me. He was parked on the side of me. He was parked always near my car. And so it was really starting to bother me. And I'm like, I wanted to complain on him. But I said, if I complain on him, then they're going to make me move. So I prayed about it. All right, I'm like, I'm not going to complain. I'm going to pray about it. So I prayed about it. And then all of a sudden, like, I didn't see him anymore for like 3 weeks. I'm like, where is this man at? Do he still even work here? I didn't even see no security guard. Then one time I saw him off in the distance in the parking lot. I said, okay, so I said, somebody must have complained on him because he's avoiding me like the Black Plague. So all of a sudden, about 3 weeks of him avoiding me, I get a knock at my window in the morning, and it's the police. One of the security guards, either him or the one that relieved him, called the police, lied, and told them that I was told to leave and I won't leave. So the police tells me this, and I'm like, they are lying. Nobody never asked me to leave. So they say, well, yeah, you have to leave and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, whatever. But I knew that it was because of that Middle Eastern man, security guard, that was basically stalking me, parking all around my car and stuff. And somebody told, and he didn't feel comfortable with me there anymore. So I had to go. Either way, I didn't tell, and I still had to go. So that was the incident with Walmart and why I had to leave Walmart, because someone was stalking me, and I guess someone else saw him and told on him, and so they lied on me and said that, told the police that I was asked to leave and I wouldn't leave. So the police told me to leave, and I left Walmart. So, and I haven't been back since, even though there's no security guard there anymore. I just still haven't went back. So that's the end of why I had to leave Walmart. But this video is about to shut off, so I'm going to end it. But I'm going to do another video about why all this happened with the police, and why they started following me like they are doing. Alright, I hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you in another video.